Hello and welcome back. Susan Zummo here, intuitive and originator of soul patterning harmonics. Before we get started with today's message, I just have a couple of announcements. First, on March 22nd, we will be opening the third portal within. And so as we open this Stargate together, the portal within each of you, we're going to take you to that place within you of creation, where you create, where you gather everything that you need to create in the outer world and also in the inner world too. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. The second portal was amazing. The group that we had was absolutely fantastic. And I think they enjoyed it as much as I did. April 5th, I will be doing a soul patterning harmonics course. And this will be for most of the day, actually. All the information is at my website, but these two classes are absolutely life-changing, and I think that you will benefit from them considerably. So I just wanted to get that out there. Of course, all the information is at my website, as you know, and if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. You do not need to have completed the first two portals to join us for the third. And you don't really have to have any specific training or background for the soul patterning harmonics course. Trust your intuition, see what calls to you, and if something does, reach out to me. Also, I'm very excited that some of the people that I have been working with over the years are expanding and growing, and they are starting their own podcasts, their own messages, and they will be posting on YouTube if they aren't already. And so I'm going to recommend to them and anyone watching this who is doing their own messages or podcasts or working in any of the YouTubes or things like that, contact Marcy. The woman who does the thumbnails that you see from my videos. If you have been with me for a while, you may remember that when I started, it was really kind of rough. I was just interested in getting the message out. There was absolutely no prettifying anything. So I would say if you go back and listen to any of them, do it with your eyes closed. I think that probably would be my recommendation. But as you can see going through my videos, she does absolutely wonderful work. She's a wonderful lady, and she's very, very reasonable. So I'm just going to make that recommendation. All right, so let's get to today's message. When I was brushing my teeth this morning, as you know, I like to get messages when I'm doing things like that. I thought, when are we going to hit the tipping point? When are we going to reach that point where great changes happen, big changes? You know, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about August, September, October, different dates. Some people say it'll be in April. Some people say next year. And every one of them, I think, are absolutely correct that we are going to see change in all the dates that are being given to us. But I wanted to know when we're going to hit the big one. When do we hit the tipping point? And as I was thinking that thought, I said to my guys, and don't tell me soon. I know all about soon. My teacher many years ago taught us some healing techniques. We were working on soul healing techniques. And she said that she absolutely loved healing. She was a very well-known healer in her time. And she loved to do healing work, but she had to put that to the side in order to train us and to elevate our frequency so that we could be of benefit to others. So she asked her guys, when was she going to be able to get back to healing, teaching us healing? And they said soon. Well, their soon was 16 years. So when I asked, when are we going to hit the tipping point? My immediate next thought was, and don't tell me soon. So here's what they said to me. And they said quite a few things. So I'm going to share that with you. First, they said, you have to accumulate enough spiritual energy for a shift to take place. So what does that mean? How do we accumulate spiritual energy? Well, we gather it to ourselves by bringing light into the body, by expanding love, by releasing those things that you know we need to release. They said the fastest way to accumulate spiritual energy is to allow those things that we need to work on, that we need to let go of, allow them to come up, heal it, and then release it. And by doing that, our frequency automatically shifts and we gather spiritual energy, right? So there's a couple of different ways to look at it. But when we're talking about accumulating spiritual energy, we know that it is a twofold process. We must, actually, it's trifold. We must, thank you, we must bring in the light. We must open our hearts and we must release that which no longer serves us. So I got a little bit of a correction when they said, don't ask when. Ask, are you ready? Are you ready for change? Are you prepared? Have you been practicing flexing, flowing, embracing change? Or have you been resisting change? Are you embracing, resisting, or actively creating? Because in order for that big shift to take place, not only do we have to accumulate enough spiritual energy, which means lift your frequency, right? Lift our frequency. Not only do we have to do that, but we have to be prepared for change. I don't know if I've said this to you before, but many, many times I have worked with people who wanted change. They wanted change. They desperately wanted change. And the day that that change showed up, they threw their hands up in the air and said, not today. I'll have it tomorrow. I'm not ready. Okay? So we need to get ready for change. And we do that by practicing being who we are in the change. Now, I say practice, and that means embody it, be it, make it intrinsic, right? Build that habit within self so that it no longer has to be a conscious effort. That's what a habit is, right? So we can build good habits. We can practice and build the habit of being who we want to be in the change, who we are striving to be. We can practice being the expanded, loving, light-filled human that we know that we are and get comfortable with that. Just doing that is going to create change in your life. And so they said, are you living your change or is it just on the weekends? Now, I will admit that I can't do it 24/7, 7 days a week. I am still building my practice of change. Have I gotten better at it? Yeah, I have. Do I still have work to do? Yes, I do. And I'm happy to admit that. I still need to be heart-centered more. And as a person who likes math, I like percentages. So I like to check in and say, what percentage of my day is a heart-centered day? Because I want to build on that. I want to increase that. How am I doing with experiencing emotions, but then resetting them and coming back to a neutral place? What percentage am I doing with that? Right? So this is the thing that I look at. And this is what I was asked to look at instead of when do we hit the tipping point? Because as a person who enjoys mathematics and likes hard numbers, I want to know what's the date? When do we hit that percentage? When is it going to flip? And so I was asked to turn those questions within, turn them inward, and look at myself. Am I living a heart-centered life? Am I balancing my emotions, resetting them, and then going to neutral and releasing them? I was not told to stuff my emotions, to bury my emotions, or to not feel emotions. Every one of us worked our butts off to get into these bodies so we could feel these emotions, but we do not want to drown in them. They asked, are you a drama junkie or a high frequency junkie? I think we can be both. But again, how is the scale being tipped? Where are we living most of the time, right? So I'll admit a little drama can be exciting. And that's why there are certain books and shows that I like to watch. But I don't indulge in them to the excess, right? And so the same thing with high frequency. You know, it would be great if I could spend every day of my life living in sixth and seventh dimension, carrying that consciousness around. I probably would not be too interested in paying my electric bill or doing laundry. And I'm here in a body and I still need to do those things. So we must find balance even as we are increasing our frequency, expanding and accumulating our spiritual energy, and creating great shifts within us. I'm always going to come back to balance because that's something that we need to do if we want to be healthy and whole as we make this shift together. Don't want anybody to go insane. Don't want anyone to live in la la land. Don't want anyone to be buried in 3D drama. There has to be a balance. And who creates that balance? We do. We are in control. And I was reminded of that as well. Control of self is the greatest control that we can ever exert. But that doesn't mean to be controlling. It means to be in control. And I'm going to leave you with that to ponder on until we meet again next week and talk about what's going on in March, because March is going to be exciting too. We are heading towards the tipping point. When is it going to come? I don't know. We won't know until it's already happened. We can feel it somewhere ahead of us. We may be able to feel it getting closer, and we may want to put a time or a date on it. But that doesn't matter so much as us being prepared and being ready for it, because we are creating it together. And so we want to create something that we can fully embrace, fully enjoy, and fully share with those we love. So until next week, I wish you many, many blessings.